Hello, welcome to another session of Learn with Veer Saga. Last session, we talked about a boss, how to handle a boss, and we started on how to handle a boss and we covered one particular type of boss. I want to say that every one of you must have a boss. If you do not have a boss, create one. When you talk to a customer, if you pretend, or if you actually are, let's say I as the owner, chairman of Electronics, if I go and talk to a customer, then there's no room for negotiations. Either I accept or he accepts or it's a breakdown. Because then who else is there? I can't pass it to anybody else. Who else do I discuss with? So I tell him, look, I have to talk to my board. I don't have a board. Right? But I say I have to talk to my board and then I'll get back to you. Then use the board as the bad group. They are saying no, and me, the good man, is going out of the way to help you out. So if you do not have a boss, create a boss. Do not be the final decision when you are facing negotiation mode. Okay, so having said that, right, there are bosses who, as I said earlier, have an inferiority complex. They're scared that you might overtake them. These bosses are easy to handle once you realize this. Otherwise, they can be a pain in the butt because they will be blocking everything you do. They will criticize you, they will try and cut you to size so that to show to people that I am the smart guy, this junior of mine is useless. I've had boss who would sacrifice me even when I haven't made a mistake. If something went wrong and the MD didn't like what happened, he said, yes sir, all these boys, they made goof. Don't worry, I will go back, I will talk to them and I will set it right. Now that kind of boss are a bad boss. But you get them and you have to handle them. So what do? Make sure, A, he does not feel uncomfortable with you. He does not see you as a threat. A boss who sees you as a threat is scared. His reactions are of a scared person. He is not meaning you any harm. He's not a bad guy at heart. But he's protecting himself. He's a scared person. So take the fear out. Tell him you're on his side and you will push him up. That's a fact. If you always push your boss up. If you push your boss up, he will take you with him. You can hang on to his coattails and go up. If you pull him down, you will also go down. Very rarely in an organization, if a departmental head has been moved out because of incompetency or not being nice, it's very rarely that somebody working for him, under him, right, will take his place. Because generally they think if the department is not doing well, it's not only the boss's department head's problem, even the team below must take some blame for it. So push him up. And if you push him up, you will go up with him. Because by the same logic, they think if this department is doing well, this department head is good, then his people must also be good. So let them take over. So first thing you do is make him feel comfortable. Never argue with him, disagree with him in public, whether it's internal meetings or external meetings. If there's more than you and him and a third person, right, either keep your mouth totally firmly shut or agree with him if it's not too dangerous to agree. Then after the meeting, one-to-one, you tell him, sir, what you were doing is not so right. It was very nice what you're saying, but if you did it this way, it'll probably get better. And let him then go back and give that suggestion. Let him take the credit. If you have done something and you think now he's going to stop it, so give him the credit before you even ask for it. Tell him your idea which you gave me, and especially make sure you have an audience. Internal department, external, doesn't matter. have 3 or 4 people, give him credit for your idea and say, this idea which you suggested, I have tried and it's coming out very well. You think I should now go ahead and do it full-fledged? And the chances are he says, yes, go ahead and do it. Back home, he will be thinking, what idea? When did I give him this idea? But there, in public, he's gloating. He's taking it and he always goes back and this guy is there to support me. He's not competing with me. Therefore, I will then give him more and more role. He sees that you are good. Then he starts giving you more and more authority, knowing that you will not take the credit. You will give him the credit for whatever has been done. So these bosses are easier to handle. Make sure that you give them the credit, make them feel nice and say, yes, you are the greatest. Don't be a sycophant, right? And if you disagree with him and you think something is not right, talk to him one-to-one, where his ego is not affected. When he can then make the announcement of the change and take the credit. If he has now changed whatever he has said, let him say it. Okay, look, I thought about it and I think instead of doing it the way I had said, it will be better off if we do it this way. Let him take the credit. But if you talk to him and say yes, then you go back and announce it. Word will go around that, yeah, the boss said it was a stupid idea and Veer Sagar has gone and given him a better idea and his idea that's being implemented. That should not happen. He should know it's his idea. So the second type of boss is a boss who has got this inferiority complex and you handle him by feeding his ego, by making sure that you do not appear to him as a competitor, as a threat, so that he does not feel that, oh, he will pull me down. He will overtake me and I will be left behind and he will become my boss one day. It's quite possible in a private company. So with that, next time I will talk about another set of bosses and how to handle them, and then how to handle similarly your employees and your customers or also your bosses. Till that time, it's Veer Sagar saying thank you very much and have a lovely time. Bye.